Hello children, how are you all? I hope you are fit and fine. Children, as you all know, this is your general knowledge video class. And today we are going to start our new chapter, that is Classical Dances of India. So this is your new chapter, children, Classical Dances of India. As you all know, children, India is a land of different kind of culture, rituals and customs. And in this ritual and in this custom, there are so many recreation. The people of India recreate themselves by the dance and music. So children, this is the part of our India, this is the integral part of India. And because of this, India is known in the world. There are so many forms of dances you can find in India. In North India, you can find Kathak. South India, it is famous from Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi, Mohiniyattam. These are the dances which are really admirable by all over the world. Manipuri and Odyssey, these form of dances are also worldwide famous. Now children, today we are going to talk about Indian dances, which are really important for us that you understand and recognize the quality of Indian dances. So children, today's topic is Classical Dances of India. Classical Dances of India. And today is 14th August 2021 and this is your general knowledge class. Class 2. So children, here classical dances, it means India is a land of a very rich culture. These cultures are giving us lots of music, lots of ragas, vocal music and instrumental music. And the foot tapping on these ragas and on these music is called dance. Your body movement along with the music, it's called dance. There are so many ragas and there are so many talas are there. So on the basis of that, our Indians used to dance. India is a land of variety. Why I am telling you children? Because you can see each and every state having their own importance and having their own uniqueness. If you will see Kashmir is famous for their Dogri. The language is Dogri and they are having their own dances and their own music. And if you are moving to the Himachal Pradesh, so that area also known for its music and dance. UP, Uttar Pradesh, as you all know, it is known for the Kathak. And many gharanas are living here. Lucknow gharana, Banaras gharana. There are so many gharanas are there. Now if we will move to the South India is also having very rich culture. Variety of dances, variety of ragas, variety of music you can see. Instrumental or vocal also. So children, today we are going to talk about classical dances of India. Okay children, first we will see Kuchipudi, then Kathak, then Odyssey, then Kathakali, then Manipuri and Bharatnatyam. From which state these belongs to? किस स्टेट से ये बिलोंग करते हैं, किस स्टेट में ये ज़्यादा चलते हैं, इनके बारे में हम पहले जानेंगे. ओके बच्चों, So, first of all, I would like to start with the Kathak. Kathak, we are living in Uttar Pradesh. Our state name is Uttar Pradesh. So, first we will discuss about Kathak. This is important. I think this is important for us to understand what is Kathak first. Okay, so first we will discuss about Kathak. Kathak usually the dancers are tapping their foot on the floor with the talas. So children, let's discuss about Kathak. Children, here you can see this image belongs to Kathak Nritya, Kathak dance. Kathak is one of the 8 major forms of Indian classical dance. The origin of Kathak is traditionally attributed to the traveling bards in the northern areas of ancient India known as Kathakars or storytellers. The term Kathak is derived from the Vedic Sanskrit word Katha, which means story, and Kathakar, which means the one who tells a story, or to do with a story. Wandering Kathakars communicated a story from the great epics and ancient mythology through dance, songs, and music. Kathak dancers tell various stories through their hand movements and extensive footwork, their body movements and flexibility, but most importantly, through their facial expressions. Kathak evolved during the Bhakti movement, particularly by incorporating the childhood stories of Hindu god Krishna, as well as independently in the courts of North Indian kingdoms. Kathak is unique in having both Hindu and Muslim gharanas and cultural element of these gharanas. Kathak performance include Urdu ghazals and commonly use the instrument brought during the Mughal periods. Kathak is found in 3 distinct forms called gharanas, named after the cities where the Kathak dance tradition evolved: Jaipur, Banaras, and Lucknow. While the Jaipur Gharana focuses more on the foot movements, the Banaras and Lucknow Gharana focus more on the facial expression and graceful hand movements. Stylistically, the Kathak dance form emphasizes a rhythmic foot movement adorned with small bells, ghungru, and the movement harmonized to the music. The legs and torso are generally straight, and the story is told through a development. So, children, here you can see a beautiful picture of 2 Kathak dancers. They used to wear lehengas with blouse and chunni, and the ghunguru is playing a main part in that Kathak Nritya. So children, here you can see there are 2 dancers which are dancing very well. Kathak is found in 3 distinct forms called gharanas, named after the city the Kathak dance tradition evolved: Jaipur, Banaras, and Lucknow. Now children, here you can see the legs and the torso are generally straight, and the story told through a developed vocabulary based on the gesture of arms and upper body movements. Facial expression, neck movements, eyes and eyebrow movement. Stage movement, bends and turns. The main focus of the dance becomes the eyes and the foot movements. The eyes work as a medium of communication of the story, The dancer is trying to communicate with the eyebrows. The dancer gives various facial expressions. The difference between the sub-tradition is the relative emphasis between acting versus footwork, with Lucknow style emphasizing acting and Jaipur style famed for its spectacular footwork. So in Lucknow, if you will see in लखनऊ घराना में ज़्यादातर आप देखेंगे कि उनका जो हैंड मूवमेंट है और फेशियल एक्सप्रेशन बहुत अच्छा रहता है। और जहाँ तक बात करेंगे जयपुर घराने की, तो जयपुर घराने में होता है कि वो ज़्यादातर फुटवर्क पे यानी पैरों पे ज़्यादा ध्यान देते हैं। कथक एज ए परफॉर्मेंस आर्ट हैज़ सर्वाइव्ड and thrived as an oral tradition, evolved, innovated and taught from one generation to another verbally and through practice. It traditioned, adapted and integrated the taste of the Mughals court. In 16th and 17th century, particularly by Akbar, and was ridiculed and declined in the colonial British era. Then was reborn as India gained independence and sought to rediscover its ancient roots and sense of national identity through the art. So children, here you can see the next picture. That is also you can see with tabla and different type of instrument the people are playing. The term Kathak is rooted in the Vedic term Katha. As you all know, this is the meaning of the story. And the history, if you will see, the Kathak is that according to the Mary Snodgrass, the Kathak tradition of India is traceable to 400 BCE. Okay. The earliest surviving text with the Kathak roots is the Natya Shastra. Okay. Attribute to the sage Bharata, and its first complete completion is dated to the between 200 BCE and 200 CE. But estimates vary between 500 BCE and 500 CE. The most studied version of the Natya Shastra text consists about 6,000 verses, is structured in the 36th chapter. The text stage Nataralia Lidova described the theory of Tandava dance, the theory of rasa, of bhava, expression, gesture, acting techniques, basic steps, standing posture, all of which are part of Indian classical dances, including Kathak. Kathak and performances art state this ancient Hindu text are a form of expression of spiritual ideas, virtues and essence of scripture, children. So this is the main, you can say, importance of Kathak. The 2nd century BC panels found in Bharat show the dancers in the vertical stance with their arms position already suggestion today Kathak's movement. Most of the dancers have one arm near the ear. Pataka hasta is the mudra. Subsequently years the hasta was lowered to the bust level. The term Kathakas is the sense of the storyteller appears in the ancient Hindu texts such as Mahabharata. Okay, so followed by the scholars of the Vedas and Vedagas, by those who founder on their soul, by persons skilled in music, by the devotee of the Bhagavata, by Kathakars, reciters and scared lord, by developer of foresters, by those who sweetly recite celestially his stories. So bards, actors, dancers, songsters and music reciters of the legends and stories are mentioned hundreds of times in the Hindu epic. Now in the Bhakti movement you can see this type of the uh, Krishna Bhakti was appeared in that, and Krishna Bhakti and Rama Bhakti, Bhagavati Purana found in the Vaishnavism, the tradition of Hinduism. The love between Radha and Krishna became symbolism of the love between Atma, soul within, and the supreme source of the Vaishnavism tradition of Hinduism. Now here you can see, although Central Asian influence of Kathak, rapid words has been proposed. Sangeet Karatantara, a 13th century Sanskrit text on the Indian classical music and dance in chapter 4 mention a dance movement with the rapid whirling around like a wheel, keeping the arms in the dola posa and bending the body inwards called Karma Kandala. It is employed in the worshipping God and the vigorous movement. The emergence of Rasila mainly in the Braj region, Mathura in western UP was an important development. It combined in itself dance and the narrative dance in Raslila, however, was mainly an extension of the basic mime and gesture of the Kathakars, a storyteller which blended with the existing tradition dance. So children, in Mughal era it was developed more, and in Mughals had developed this dance very well, and over the time Kathak repertoire added Persian and classical Asian terms, and here you children you can see such as the whirling of the Sufi dance. The custom replaced saris with the terms of the beard, midriff, and included the transparent veil of the tight womb common with the medieval harem dances. When the colonial European officials began arriving in India, the Kathak court entertainment they witnessed as a synthesis of the ancient India tradition and Central Asian Persian dance form. And the Kathak dance performs were called the Nach girls. Nach girl, a derivative and more difficult to pronounce Sanskrit Natya. So you can say the decline of this Kathak Nitya was started in the colonial era. So children, this is the Kathak, most famous dance of Uttar Pradesh. Children, this is the image of Kuchipudi dance. Now here children you can see the body movement and the dress of this Kuchipudi dancer. You can see from the village where this dance come from in Andhra Pradesh. India, see Kuchipudi, Krishna district. Kuchipudi is one of the 8 major Indian classical dances. It is originated in village named Kuchipudi in the Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. Kuchipudi is a dance drama performance with its root in ancient Hindu Sanskrit text of Natya Shastra. It is developed as a religious art linked to the travelling bards, temples, and spiritual beliefs. Like all major classical dances of India, evidence of the Kuchipudi existence. So children, here you can see Kuchipudi. Now children, here you can see Kuchipudi is a dance drama performance with its roots of ancient Hindu Sanskrit text of Natya Shastra. Evidence of the Kuchipudi existence in older version are found in the copper inscription of the 10th century and by the 15th century in texts such as Machupulli Kaifat. Kuchipudi tradition holds that the Tirtha Narayan Yati, a sannyasin of the Advaita Vedanta persuasion, and his disciple, an orphan and named Siddharendra Yogi, founded and systematized the modern version of the Kuchipudi in 17th century. Kuchipudi largely developed as a Hindu god Krishna oriented Vaishnavism tradition, and it is known by the name of the Bhagavata Mela in Tanjavur. The traditionally Kuchipudi was performed by all males troupe. A dancer in a male role would be Agni Vastra, also known as the Bagalbandi, wear a dhoti. Here you can see. This is the female dancer, but male dancer they used to wear this dhoti. Okay, so they used to wear the dhoti, a single plaited piece of the cloth hanging down from the waist. A dancer is a female. Role would be with the sari with light makeup. Now children, this is the border sari, you can say, very bright color. The Kuchipudi performance usually begins with an invocation. Then each costumed actor is introduced, their role stated, and then perform a short preliminary dance set of music, dharavu. Next, the performance present pure dance, nritya. Okay children. Now children, here you can see in this image you can see the style of dances. This is followed by the expressive part of the performance, nritya, where rhythmic hands gesture help convey the story, vocal and instrumental Carnatic music in the Telugu language accompanies the performance. The typical musical instrument in Kuchipudi as mrigandanam, cymbals, veena, flute and tambura. The popularity of Kuchipudi has grown within India and it is performed worldwide. So this is worldwide famous nitya, and as you all know children, this is really wonderful dance and it's having a grace. Kuchipudi names, as you all know, that is derived from the Krishna district, and this is in the Andhra Pradesh, and after that it will become the Kuchipudi. So children, here you can see, according to the Manohar Varada Pandey, the Kuchipudi dancer emerged in late 13th century when Ganga rules from Kalinga, where the patrons of the performance arts based on the 12th century Sanskrit scholar Jayadeva, particularly the Gita Govinda. This royal sponsorship states Varad Pandey encouraged many poets and dance drama troupes to adopt Radha Krishnan themes into the prevailing version of the classical Kuchipudi. These were the regionally called Vaishnava Bhagavatalu. The modern version of the Kuchipudi is attributed to the Tirtha Narayanayati, a 17th century Telugu sannyasin of Advaita Vedanta persuasion, and particularly his disciple, a Telugu Brahmin orphan named Siddhendra Yogi. Tirtha Narayanayati, authored by Sri Krishna Leela Tarangini, and introduced sequence of the rhythmic dance syllable at the end of the cantos. He wrote this work as a libretto for a dance drama. Narayanati lived for the while in the Tanjore district and presented the dance drama in the Tanjore temple. Narayanati disciple Sityendra Yogi followed up the another play, the Prijapatratna, were more commonly known as the Bhama Kalapa. When Siddhendra Yogi finished the play, he had trouble finding suitable performance. So he went to the Kochilampuram, the village of his wife's family, and present day Kuchipudi, where he enlisted a group of the young Brahmin boys to perform the play. According to the tradition, Shiyendra requested and the villagers agreed to perform the plays once a year. This came to the known as Kuchipudi children. So this is how the Kuchipudi was originated. So कोई भी डांस होता है उसमें सबसे ज़्यादा रोल उसको स्टार्ट करने वाले का होता है. इट मीन्स इट इज़ रिलेटेड टू द धर्म, इट इज़ रिलेटेड टू द रिलीजन, बट इट इज़ ऑल्सो एंटरटेन द पीपल ऑल्सो. कोई भी नृत्य है वो भगवान की, ईश्वर की आराधना करने के लिए बनाए गए हैं. लेकिन इन न्यू वर्जन अगर आप देखेंगे तो वो चीज़ें अब धीरे धीरे ख़त्म हो गई हैं एंड इट इज़ बिकम अ art form. But that time, in ancient time, it was made or it was developed by the religious personality, और वो उसको भगवान को याद करने के लिए, भगवान को स्मरण करने के लिए, भगवान की चीज़ों को प्रस्तुत करने के लिए बनाए गए थे. तो ये भी उनमें से एक है. कुचिपुड़ी इज़ ऑल्सो ओरिजिनेटेड इन कुचिपुड़ी विलेज इन आंध्र प्रदेश. सो ये भी उतना ही सुंदर नृत्य है. नाउ चिल्ड्रन, वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न अबाउट आवर नेक्स्ट डांस. दिस डांस इज कॉल्ड ओडिसी. Here children you can see a male and female figure that are wearing Odyssey Nritya dresses. So this is very graceful, very gracious dance form, and it's having a hand movement and the face expression as well, and the body movement which आपको कैरिस्मेटिक बॉडी मूवमेंट इसमें दिखाई देंगे, और इट्स अ ब्यूटिफुल डांस ऑफ इंडिया. नाउ चिल्ड्रन वी विल लर्न अबाउट दिस ओडिसी नृत्य. नाउ चिल्ड्रन फर्स्ट वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट इट्स हिस्ट्री. ओडिसी इज़ अ डांस फॉर्म फ्रॉम द स्टेट ऑफ ओडिशा in eastern India. It is recognized as one of the 8 classical dances form of India, and it's celebrated around the world for its lyricism, sensuality and emphasis on bhakti bhava, attitude of devotion and surrender. Odyssey gained visibility in India and internationally from 1950 onwards, when it began to be presented on theatre stages. Since then, Odyssey dancers and writers have claimed that it is oldest of India's classical dance forms, which was earlier performed in temples of Odisha. These claims are based on a range of the architectural and textual evidence and living ritual traditions. Based on an examination of established and newer scholarship, it may be noted that multiple historical roots, including the artistic and performances tradition of the pre-modern Odisha, and the work of the artist in post-independence India, have informed the formation of Odyssey as a classical dance form from the mid-20th century and onwards. Children, located on the eastern coast of India on the shores of the Bay of Bengal, Odisha is bound by land on its other sides. The town of the Puri lies in the southeastern edge of the coast, and approximately 60 km north of its lie Bhubaneswar, established as the state capital in 1948-49. Adjacent to the Puri is another coastal town, Konark, famous for its sun temple. Odisha old capital, second largest city, Kathak, lies 25 kilometers north of Bhubaneswar. Geographically, the towns of Puri, Bhubaneswar, Kathak and Konark in eastern Odisha are at the nucleus of the story of Odyssey. Although a number of performance and ritual tradition that have informed the movement's music and repertoire of the dance exist, outside this coastal core. Now children, if you will see this dance, this is a beautiful dance of gesture and body movement. In existing literature on the history of Odyssey, there is a conspicuous gap regarding archaeological evidence after the period of the Udyagiri and the Khandagiri. Till we pick up the thread again from the 6th century AD, when the rulers of Odisha began to patronize temple building on the large scale. In Bhubaneswar, several temples were built between the 6th and 13th century AD. Okay, so these dances are originated from that. Now, Puri is considered the spiritual home of Odyssey as the site of the Jagannath temple where Mahari service was formalized. So, Banerjee's statement helps us to contextualize the centrality of the Mahari tradition in the historical accounts of Odyssey dance. Maharis was ritually married to the Lord Jagannath, considered a form of Vishnu, who was regarded as a living entity and whose image was worshipped as such. Young girls were initiated into the temple service around the age of 8 or 9, generally one of two routes. They were either dedicated by their families as an expression of devotion or gratitude, or adopted by the older Maharis as their daughters. The ceremony called Sari Bandhan formalized their tie with the temple and marriage with Jagannath, and therefore they were to be supported by the temple for the rest of their lives. The new Mahari received instruction from the Rajaguru, teacher from the king's court, and was trained in music and dance in preparation to enter formal temple service where she would perform one of the Mahari service. Okay children, so Bhitara Gauni, those who sang in the inner quarter of the temple at the time of the Jagannath would sleep at night. Bahara Gauni, who sang outside. Nauchini, dancers who performed outside the sacrarum, and Pathuris, who performed the religious festival and ceremonies. Maharis could be recruited from different castes, but after being initiated into the service of Jagannath, they were said to have no rank or caste and status except that of womankind. So children, this is the history, or you can say these are the main concept of Odyssey Nitya. So children, we will talk about more dances, classical dances of India in our next video. So children, please learn this, because this dance is originated from Odisha, and the first dance we have discussed, Kathak. Kathak was originated from Uttar Pradesh, and the previous dance we have discussed, that is Kuchipudi, which is originated in Andhra Pradesh. So children, we will discuss more. We will meet again. Till then, bye-bye and take care.